in New York City, from New York City. Sorry, I started a little bit late because I was trying to make sure I had everything prepped, and I totally forgot where I put this bowl, so I had to like look for it a bit. And I fed my cats so that way they weren't yelling at me in the middle of all this that I'm doing right now. And today I am going to be restocking my cookie dough freezer stash. I have all of my ingredients prepped here. Actually, let me show you everything that I prepped beforehand. This, and all of my I'm not even gonna try to pick up all the butter and egg I have here because I feel like I'll drop it. Hi Brianna! Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a lovely day. It's a little bit gloomy in New York City right now for people who are not from here. I have a pen. I don't know where I put why I put this here. Oh, it's because I was writing something. Okay. I'm gonna put it over there. And yeah, I have all of my dry ingredients prepped. And I have I have everything labeled to make sure that I don't forget what was what. And I highly recommend doing this if you ever want to make your own cookie dough stash, or you're just prepping cookie dough in general to bake off whenever you want. Prepping the ingredients beforehand and then saving it for another day is just gonna be so much easier. So you're not like overwhelmed with, oh my god, I have to do this, that, and that. Okay. And let me see. I had a list. Oh. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget what I'm trying to make. And then let me just make sure that my side screen is working over here. And then, okay. Today I am making brown butter sugar cookies, regular sugar cookies in case like other people don't want that. I'm recipe testing these. Matcha cookies, chocolate chip cookies, and Earl Grey cookies. And this is for, I'm doing a mix of recipe testing today, and I have the chocolate chip cookies and the Earl Grey cookie on my blog if you want to check it out at sparklecakerie.com. I just figured it'd be fun to just do a live because I won't be able to do it Sunday because I don't know, this June is just gonna be busy for me on Sundays. So I figured, okay, I'll do it today. That way I don't have to worry about it tomorrow because I'm trying to maintain my weekly goal of doing a live every week where I'm baking or recipe testing. And this, I'm gonna restock my freezer dough stash, my cookie dough freezer stash. And I've never frozen cookie dough, but I've heard about it a lot. Yes, I feel like people don't talk about it enough, where it's like so. Oh, why my music stop? It makes it so much easier to just have, like, when you're feeling like, oh, I want a little cookie, just pull it out like whenever you want, bake it, and it's totally ready. Or I like to do this because I'm gonna have a cookie box for Father's Day coming up for my friends' dads and stuff, and I just want to make sure that I have like stuff stocked in my freezer so that way it's just easier for me beforehand, and it's just like, it saved me like one less thing to worry about when I could just pull it out and bake it. Like, I love breaking down baking steps. It's just, I promise you, it's just gonna be so much easier if you do that, and it'll be less overwhelming when baking. Okay, I'm gonna start with, what did I write down I'm gonna start with? I'm gonna try to start with the sugar cookie one. Where is that? Okay, here. My sugar cookie dry mix. And I didn't mix all the ingredients together yet. And I like to do it like when I'm making a small batch, I like to just stir my whisk inside the dry ingredients to kind of sift it together, like a lazy way of sifting. And I'll just give it a little stir just to make sure all my leavening agents, like baking powder, baking soda, my salt, my flour is all mixed together. This one also has the white sugars inside it. And this cookie dough is meant to be kind of like the homemade version of those like box cookie dough mixes, where you would, all you have to do is like have the dry ingredients and then just dump in like whatever. Actually, I haven't tried a cookie box mix yet before, actually, but I've done a lot of cake mixes where you know how all you have to do is put the egg, water, and oil in. This is kind of the same idea except cookie version, where you just put the butter and the egg in to your dry ingredients. No mixer needed unless you make a bigger batch, but this is just a singular smaller batch. Let me see, are there any cookie doughs you've made that don't hold up well once frozen? That's actually a really good question. The cookie doughs that I'm recipe testing and that I have on my blog are meant to be frozen, so that way it's, honestly, it was meant to be easier for me, but because I know how stressful it is to bake sometimes with busy schedules, it was also meant for other people who have busy schedules but still want homemade cookies. So the ones that I try to do for my blog, it's meant to be frozen or baked fresh. I try to do like baked fresh too, because I know some people like would prefer to just bake it right away. But have I made any that don't hold well in the freezer? Let me think. I feel like, so you know crumble cookies, or like the ones that have frosting on top? I feel like those, the cookie itself, like the cookie dough itself, would probably freeze well, but I feel like those type of cookies wouldn't be something that like you could freeze with the frosting on top of it, especially after baking. That's the only thing I can think of, like off the top of my head. Okay, now I'm gonna do my butter and my egg. Oh, here's my spatula. This is my current favorite rubber spatula. I love that it just helps me get all the ingredients off the side of the bowls, and because it's light blue. Okay, my butter, my egg. And then my dry mixture. Okay. Oh, and vanilla extract. I'm gonna measure this with my heart. Okay, and then just give it a little mixy mix. And I think it's a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, is it 5 or 6? 1. Oh, I forgot to write one. I also am making pistachio butter. I don't know if I already said that. So I'm taking a total of 6 different cookie doughs today to restock my freezer stash. But I'm actually gonna put it in the fridge first to chill, because it'll be easier for me to move to a container to put into my freezer. Or sometimes I put them into like little baggies, and then I have to label them. Always make sure you label your ingredients or whatever you're making, so that way you know what it is and when you made it. Put the name and the date. It'll save you so much food wastage. Okay, and then I'm gonna scrape the sides of my bowl. Make sure, try to get all the dry ingredients in there. And then sometimes I'll scrape my spatula against the bowl to get any of like loose dough off the sides of my spatula to make sure everything is mixed inside. Okay. almost done. Just got a couple of dry spots I want to get. And then if you ever make cookie dough by hand, like you're making a smaller batch, always make sure you try to scrape the bottom and the sides of your bowl to get all the ingredients, and you don't get like weird dry spots that you missed, or like wet spots like your egg or something, or your butter. Okay, a little bit of flour spots, so I'm going to try to mix that in. I'm going to scrape the bottom and the sides of my bowl. Okay, almost done. Scrape my spatula against the bowl again because I see some butter streaks that I want to get inside. Mix, 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 mix. Okay. Ooh. Touch the side. It's got a little cookie dough there. The weather's a little bit gloomy today in New York City. It's making me feel kind of tired, actually. But I was like, no, I have to do the live today because I want to maintain my streak. My personal streak, to be honest. I'm more of a solar powered person. I need the sun. I'm like a little flower, little plant. Okay, looks good. And now my cookie dough looks like this. No flour streaks, no butter streaks, no egg streaks. So I want to make sure that you also don't overwork this dough. Like when it looks like it's fully combined, stop mixing. Okay, and now I'm gonna use my favorite cookie scoop. You don't have to use this. You can also use like a spoon to measure it out, or tablespoons. I would say I usually like to scoop one scoop of this is probably about 3 tablespoons. So you can use a spoon for that, measuring spoon, and then just roll it into a circle. And then you can put that into a tray to bake. Or you can put it there to chill and then freeze. Hi Tony, good job. Thank you, Tony. Are you from Japan? No, I'm not. I wish we had more gloomy weather. Gloomy weather here in Cali. It's always too hot to bake. Is it hot right now? Like how many degrees is it? I always heard that California is like more of a, they call it like a sunshine state, right? Like you don't really, do you not like get rain there? I've actually never been to California. Okay, and this is my plastic lined cookie tray, so it's easier for me to scoop the cookie dough and put it on this. And I'm gonna put them pretty close together so that way I maximize the space, like the amount of cookie doughs I can put on this to chill. Because I'm not baking them, I am just going to restock my cookie dough freezer stash. Put my bowl here. It's on my way. Fix my headband a little. Okay, using my cookie scoop. To be honest, I highly recommend using cookie scoops instead of just using like a spoon or a measuring spoon, or even like a kitchen scale if you have to measure it would be good. It just creates more even cookie dough balls, so that way everything will bake more evenly and at the same time. Preferably, or like supposedly, because like unless you have like a really big like bad hot spot in your oven, they should be baking evenly. So I'm going to scoop and then scrape along the side of my bowl to make sure I get an even scoop of dough. And it should look like this. And then just release it onto my tray. And I'm just going to do this with all my cookie dough. So I'm going to scoop and then scrape on the edge of my bowl. Just make sure you get like a full scoop. Don't let it look empty. Like, let me show you what I've seen before. That is a no-no, because like that defeats the whole purpose of using an ice cream scoop to make even cookie dough balls, because if you have like gaps like this, that is definitely not an even amount. So make sure you scoop and then try to scrape the edge of your bowl so you get an even cookie dough ball scoop in your ice cream scoop, like this. And there's like a tiny gap. You can, like here, it's not that obvious. It's just like the gap from scraping. That's not a big deal, but you don't want to be able to see the bottom of the cookie scoop. Put it here. My tray. I feel like there's a cat hair like on my nose or something, or is my own hair, or a piece of dust. It's like tickling my nose. Okay, I'm gonna continue. I think this should give me about 7 to 8 cookie dough balls. Let's see. That's why I'm recipe testing. If you feel like your cookie dough is ever too sticky, or it's not holding its shape when you're rolling it, it's possible that your butter was like too soft or the room is too soft. So what you can do is put your cookie, like the bowl of cookie dough, into your fridge to chill for like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on how sticky it feels. And then come back to scoop the dough. So that way it's just easier, because if it's too sticky, it'll be hard for you to like scoop out anyway. Okay. How many do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 right now. Okay, and then I'm going to use my spatula to scrape some of the cookie dough to one side so it's easier for me to use my cookie scoop. Alright, so once I put it to one side, it's going to be easier for me to scoop. I'm going to try to get off as much of the cookie dough from my rubber spatula as well. And perfecto. Okay, so that's what, 7? I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 7. Okay. Do you have any questions when making cookies? Feel free to ask them in the comments, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. That's great. Actually, this will give me a little bit more than I expected, which is not a bad thing. The last bit of cookie dough will be hard to scoop, so I'm going to use my rubber spatula, one of my favorite tools, and just put it directly into the cookie scoop. Just because the last pieces of cookie dough will always be kind of tricky to measure out anyway, usually, but it makes sense. Okay, trying to get off all the dough. Oh wow, I think I might actually get a perfect little like cookie dough ball from this last scraping. Granted, I am like really trying to get everything off of the bowl right now. What type of cookies are you making? Right now, this is a sugar cookie recipe that I'm testing. And I'm also going to be making brown butter sugar cookie dough because I want to make a brown butter version. It's a little, I feel like I could have just used the same recipe. It is basically very similar, but just slightly different because the brown butter, when you brown butter, you lose a little bit of moisture. So I feel like a regular sugar cookie dough will probably have a little bit more flour. So I just want to make sure like the ratios still work. So that's why it's like same but two different-ish recipes for that. And then I'm also making a matcha cookie, chocolate chip cookies, and oh wait, chocolate chip cookies, Earl Grey, and pistachio butter. From where I am live from New York City. Sounds yummy. Yes, I am so excited. I'm restocking my cookie dough freezer stash, and that's why I decided to go live today. Okay, and then here's my sugar cookie dough. So that's one row. I'm gonna put this in the fridge for now. Oh, like cookie dough underneath this somehow. Let me just wipe that before it gets everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the fridge for now, and then I will work on the next cookie dough flavor. Ooh, Earl Grey. I've always wanted to do Earl Grey cookies, specifically shortbread ones. I highly recommend you do that. It's so, I love shortbread in general. I have an Earl Grey sugar cookie recipe on my blog, but I feel like if you have a really good shortbread base cookie dough and you just add the Earl Grey tea leaves, like finely grounded inside, it's gonna, I haven't tried it, but I feel like it's gonna be so good because I love Earl Grey tea. Okay, so that was my cookie. Let's do the brown butter one next. Oh, here, just as we were talking about Earl Grey, this is the dry mix for the Earl Grey. And this is my brown butter sugar cookie dry mix. And I have my brown butter. I'm working smarter this time. Last time I did a live and I tried to make the brown butter live, it like splattered everywhere. And it did not cool fast enough for me to even use properly during the live. So this time I made it beforehand. But it's also because last time I was trying to show you guys, like, or I don't know if it's the same people here today, but last time I tried to show the people that were here live how to make brown butter chocolate chip cookies. And I wanted to show them how to make brown butter live. And it was also hot that day in my kitchen, so I don't know, it was kind of chaotic, but it worked out. Cookies were delicious. But this time, since I'm not aiming to show you my how to brown butter, I just did it beforehand and let it cool. And it smells so good. I love brown butter. If you haven't made your own brown butter before, you need to do it. It's not even that hard, it just takes a little patience. It smells so good. It's like nutty, caramelly kind of like smell. I wish I could like show you or like have you smell this right now through the screen. I think that would be like next level like video communication if you could smell it. Actually, this one, I think I'm gonna just mix it directly in my pot because it's not hot anymore. The butter is like, the brown butter is completely cooled, just so I can try to get like all the butter out of this. So I'll just mix it directly in here. I'm gonna take an egg. I'm gonna take butter. And yeah, let's do this. We'll put the egg in. Wipe my fingers. And give it a little mixy mix. Oh wait, oh my god, why didn't anybody stop me? I already have butter. See, this is why I'm practicing my live, because I need to practice like giving direction while teaching like people how to bake, and like while making sure I'm looking at the chat and I'm like talking into the camera, that I almost put in double the butter. I am working with butter already. I almost put this in. I don't need that. I just needed the egg. Good thing I caught myself, because then that would have been a disaster. Like maybe I would have realized it later on and then just doubled the dry ingredients, but yeah, no, I don't I didn't want to do that, because I already pre-measured everything and I don't want to give myself more work, because I already had like a plan. Like some of my friends say I'm really organized, but to be honest, I feel like I'm kind of chaotically organized, if that makes sense. Like I kind of just do things based on vibes. And like I try to be organized. Do you have a video or recipe for them? I've always wanted to try doing brown butter chocolate chip cookies. I do have like a YouTube Shorts, I think, if you scroll through my like short videos. And I have it on my blog. I think I pinned it in these comments, in the comment section, I think at the top, where it says like I'm restocking my cookie dough freezer stash, and then it has a link to recipes on my blog, and that's where you'll find my brown butter chocolate chip cookie recipe too. And you can see the Earl Grey one as well, the Earl Grey sugar cookies on that. Okay, and then let me get my dry ingredients here, right next to me. Brown butter, sugar cookie, dry ingredients. And let me just make sure I sip these together. And yeah, actually, let me do that. And then let me also make sure I don't forget the vanilla. I'm gonna put that in my butter egg mixture. Boop, measuring with my heart again, because I am a chaotic, organized baker? Question mark. Oh, that was a little loud. Sorry. What was the next question? I have a question. Yes, Kiki. Oh, Kiki, like Kiki's delivery service. I have a question. What's the secret to having soft cookies? That's a good question. Let me just actually bring this a little closer. That, I think trying to get soft cookies always depends on the recipe, because some recipes are meant to be like crispy or thin or crunchy. Like shortbread cookies are meant to be, you know, they're shortbread, they're like crispy, cookie, crumbly, buttery. And if you're looking for ones that are specifically soft, if you actually go to, I said it before, but if you go to my pinned comment, I have a link to my cookie recipes. Like some of them I already post. Today I'm recipe testing other ones, because I'm going to post more cookie recipes this month. Those cookies I would say are soft, but since that's so subjective, like I feel like it also depends on what kind of soft you mean. Like, do you want soft like gooey soft, or just soft like as in it's not crunchy, or like soft chewy? Like for my cookie dough recipes, they're more on the soft side, like slightly chewy. Some of them depending, like I would say the Earl Grey one is soft. It's a sugar cookie. The brown butter chocolate chip can be crispy on the edges. It also depends on how long you bake it for. If you underbake cookies by like a minute or two, sometimes you can get like a softer gooey version. So a lot of it has to do with like the science of it. Mainly also has to do with how the recipe was originally angled for. Like if you're looking for a soft cookie, like go for titles that say like, oh, soft blah 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 cookies recipe or something. And I'm actually trying to work on one that is like a honey cookie, like honey sugar cookies, because I have made one before where the honey really keeps it soft. I also personally like soft cookies. I like soft and chewy cookies. What are other tips to keep, like if you had a recipe to keep it soft? Let me think. I feel like if you also make sure you keep your cookies in like an airtight container, it'll help maintain the softness. If you have recipes that use like, or if you find recipes that use brown sugars, those often are on the softer side because brown sugar is hygroscopic and it draws in moisture. So most of the time those cookies are softer when it uses brown sugar in the recipe. Not that white sugar based recipes like cane sugar, white sugar aren't soft, but if you're like specifically looking for one, I feel like aiming for the ones that have brown sugar as like the main sugar or as one of the sugars is definitely like something as an ingredient list like you would look for. I have the egg, I have the vanilla, I have brown butter to make sure. I had to like recap in case I forgot. And now my dry ingredients for the brown butter, sugar cookie. Okay, give it a little mixy mix again. I have butter on my fingers. You're welcome, Kiki. Okay, for people who are just coming in, I am making cookies today. I'm recipe testing some and I'm just well, some of them are recipe testing and some of them are already on my blog. You will find the link at my pinned comment, I think up above. I don't know where the comments are for you actually, to be honest, or maybe it's down below. And you can find some of my cookie recipes there, or like later on in the month. I'm just restocking my cookie dough freezer stash. What's your favorite dessert to make? Wait, I don't know why I said wake. I am not awake. What is my favorite dessert to make? I think someone asked me this question last week too, and to be honest, if I told you honestly, it changes like based on what I'm in the mood for all the time, but I know some of the ultimate bakes that I love to like make so I can eat it would be definitely cream puffs, like with the cookie tops on it, like the crispy cookie tops. And cookies is definitely up there, but I feel like cookies is like everyone loves cookies, right? Like maybe not everyone, like most people love cookies, so that I feel like that's such an obvious answer. But cream puffs would definitely be one for me. I love custards, like pastry cream custards. Oh my god, it's so good. And I love cakes that have custards inside, or like tarts that have custards, because I love that those contrasting textures of like a crumbly shortbread type crust, or like a flaky type ones where it's like a puff pastry crust, and the I don't even know how to describe custard, like the pudding like texture, like the silky butteriness, egginess, milkiness, creaminess of custard, specifically vanilla, but I love custard in general. And then top that tart with like fruits. That's definitely one of my other favorite desserts to make and to eat. Alrighty, okay, so this is one of the recipes I'm recipe testing for brown sugar. Sorry, I said brown sugar. So you see, this is why I need to practice more, like speaking and teaching at the same time. I meant to say, what is this supposed to be? Brown butter sugar cookie dough. So I'm recipe testing this, and I can already tell that it's a little bit drier than I would like. I think it'll bake okay when I bake it, but I might want to, how much flour did I put in this? I might cut the flour a little bit for this recipe, but I'm gonna bake it off and see. And that's why I'm recipe testing. So, Coco says, I love you. Oh, thank you. And do you guys have a favorite dessert to make or eat if you don't bake? Do you even bake, actually, people that are here? Or are you just watching me make cookies? almost done mixing. I just have a few dry spots in this dough, which I will get in a second. Oh, that smells so good. Okay, so honestly speaking, I don't think I've ever had a sugar cookie that I really loved. But the other day, I don't even know where this idea came from. I think I just saw or someone mentioned brown butter sugar cookies, and I was like, wait, that's gonna be so good. Cause like sugar cookies don't even have like, I mean, they're just vanilla sugar cookies, right? But make it brown butter, and I feel like that brown butter would really shine. Add some like vanilla extract. Oh, so good. Okay, I'm gonna scoop this up. Yes, I like to bake. I love making brownies. Ooh, I love brownies. Like I love the dark chocolate type and matcha brownies. Flan is so fun to make, but I hate. Wait, what? So you like to make it, but you don't like to eat it? Is that what you mean? Where's my cookie chip? Oh, it's in the fridge. I already forgot I put my own cookie tray in the fridge. Okay, and my other cookie dough is chilled. I'm gonna move it over a little bit because it's chilled enough that I can like just move it a smidge. Do I like flan? I don't think I've had one I love. I do like it though, but you know what? I can kind of see what you mean by you like making it but not eating it, because sometimes I feel like it's too eggy, but I love the look of it because I love anime, and like I feel like they're always in animes, like pudding. They call it pudding. And I don't know if you've been to Japan. I went for the first time recently, and I feel like their flan or pudding is like different though from like the other types of flans I've had. Oh, you should try making choco flan. I feel like that would be so good too. Like I feel like every culture has their own version of flan / pudding. Bye. Bye. Saying bye to my husband. Okay, alright. It's a little bit harder to scrape because I'm using like a pot. Oh no, will I be able to tell the difference between these cookies? I think so, because the sugar cookies is a little bit more brown? Question mark? Tiny bit. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to tell them apart. Yeah, all my family members love, but I never tried any of the ones. I'm dead. Wait, but that's fine, because even though you never tried it, your family loves it, so that's all that counts, right? Matcha, yes, I love matcha brownies. I'm in the middle of trying to figure out a good recipe for it, because I'm looking for a very specific texture, if that makes sense. Like, okay, so I know there's like 2 types of brownies. Like there's like, well, it's also similar to cookies, right? Where it's either like some brownies are just so gooey. I don't like that, sorry. Like if you like it, it's fine. I'm not gonna yuck your yum, but I don't like the ones that are like super gooey. I like the soft and chewy kinds where it's almost like a cookie. So the recipe I was recipe testing for a matcha brownie, just like it was good, but I feel like I needed it to be a little bit more sustenance, you know? Like I needed more chew to it. Maybe because I made it too thin or I underbaked it, I don't know. I have to double check. Also, I felt like it was a little bit too sweet for me. So, still recipe testing that. I feel like I have a never-ending to-do list of things I want to write out on my blog versus the things that I just wanted to make for fun. And I have to find like a balance between it. And my husband was actually telling me yesterday, he was like, why don't you just alternate between those two? Like make stuff for your blog for work, and like for other people that like viewers that come to see like for your community, and then do stuff that's just for you. So it's like fun. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, why did I put these invisible rules on myself to like I had to only do one? I have free will. Like, I can do whatever I want, technically. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I feel like sometimes I set too many rules on myself, like mentally, even though, like, it's not like anybody told me I had to. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a perfectionist problem. Oh yeah, Japanese flan is way less sweet and the texture is different. It's usually less soft. I think the caramel is slightly different flavor too from where... Oh, so you've been to Japan Con, if I'm pronouncing that correctly? Because I agree, I feel like the caramel is different. Like, it's like... I had it for the first time a few years ago. It's called like black sugar or kuromitsu. And it's like brown sugar, but they have like a different type of sugar, and I don't know how to describe the taste of like Japanese black sugar and Taiwanese black sugar, except other than the fact that I love it. Like, I really don't know how to describe the flavor. I have to figure it out because it's just different. It's so different from like the dark brown sugars I've had in America. And I think the closest alternative I've ever had was panela sugar, and that is like, even that doesn't taste like Japanese black sugar. It's still different, but panela sugar is so good. Like, I have such a hard time finding it granulated to bake with, and it's usually in like blocks at the supermarket, or in general that I've seen. I rarely find it in granulated form. But panela sugar, I feel like, is like the closest thing I can say. Like, it's not the same, because I feel like panela still has a more earthy taste to it. But I would say that was like the closest alternative I've ever had. To be honest, I can find granulated black sugar easily at the Asian supermarket more than I can find granulated panela sugar. So I usually just use the black sugar if I ever wanted to like make bubble tea. It's so good. Oh, actually, you probably know, like, you know how people make like the bubble tea stores, if you've ever had bubble tea, they make black sugar bubble tea, brown sugar bubble tea. It's like that sugar, and they put it on the Japanese flan or pudding. I almost sidetracked. I was like talking about the panela, and then I was like, wait, why did we even talk about that? Japanese flan, it's like the same sugar they use for bobas when they say brown sugar boba, black sugar boba. So good. Love it. Now I kind of want to eat flan, even though, to be honest, I actually also don't really love flan. I also love to make it, but I feel like maybe I'll like it now, if that makes sense. There are things that I don't love, but I'll keep trying to eat it because I would think like, oh, I feel like I should like this, or I want to like it because it's cute, or it's like so popular. Like flan is one of them. But I love the pudding that they put in bubble tea. I feel like that's different, but it reminds me of the texture of flan, but it's almost more jello-like. Okay, last, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why did I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cookie doughs from the other sugar cook? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I get 8 out of this one. That's why I'm recipe testing, right? I think my cookie dough for the other one was a little bit warm, so because I can already tell it's a little bit flatter than I would like. Not the worst though. So I would say this gives me about, let me write this down so I don't forget, because these two are actually the ones I'm recipe testing. So I would say This one gives me about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cookie doughs. The other one gives me about, oh, I see. This one actually has a little bit more flour in it. The one that's not browned. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Also, it was a little bit warmer too, so that's probably also why. I still have a little bit of cookie dough in here. So tempted to eat it, but I don't recommend eating raw cookie dough because of, well, salmonella. Like, you don't want to get sick. And also there's raw eggs in here, so just don't. Actually, I'm gonna leave it like this because I'm gonna roll into a ball. Just because I'm actually gonna bake that piece off for me later. Okay, so that's that. From the sink. Then what's next? I have sugar cookie, brown butter. Let me put that down. Let's do matcha next. Oh, actually, let me move my pen before I lose it. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this in the fridge for now while I make the next cookie dough. I'm also getting a little hungry, but I'll eat after I prepped everything here because I took up all the table space anyway. I'm gonna get my previous bowl again. And I'm making matcha. So where did I put my matcha bowl? Ah. Oh, here it is. Matcha cookie. Dry mix. Okay, and if you're coming in later, I am restocking my cookie dough freezer stash today. I already made my sugar cookie dough, brown butter sugar cookie dough, and now I'm moving on to my matcha cookie dough. I'm just gonna sift my dry ingredients first. Make sure all my dry ingredients are mixed together. I put the matcha powder, salt, sugar, my leavening agents. Yeah, I think that's it for this one. Then I have my softened butter here and egg. Not putting vanilla extract in this one because, well, it's matcha. Alright, and first, before I continue mixing, I need a water break. Hydrate break. Make sure you hydrate. Drink your water. Actually, let me show you my water bottle too. I've been collecting like waterproof stickers to put on it. Some of them were not waterproof, so they're like coming off now. But look how cute it is, I love it. But yeah, hydrate. A little bit more because I'm kind of thirsty. Ah. Crisp. Okay, matcha powder. I mean, not matcha powder, matcha dry mix cookie dough. Let's try the dry ingredients this time. To be honest, I tried to make these recipes that it shouldn't really matter too much of the order for at least this one. Ah. Okay. Gotta make sure all that was out. Okay, and then let me just... Oops. Did I close the chat? Hello? Oh, there it is. I accidentally like moved something and then I couldn't see the chat anymore. What kind of matcha powder do you use for baking? That's a really good question. This one is just the, what is it called again? It's the one I got from Costco. I don't know if they have it at all Costco's, but it's like, I literally can't remember the name of it now. I think it's called from Sencha Naturals. And it's like about $20 for a pretty big bag, so it's more of a budget-friendly one. It's nothing like super special. But what I noticed about using like, it's not a bad matcha either, just to clarify. Like it's, I didn't buy it because I'm like, oh, I just want to buy like a cheap one that doesn't taste good and stuff. I bought that one because it does actually taste good when baking, especially when I'm recipe testing. I don't want to use a really expensive matcha, you know what I mean? But, and that's why I bought the one from Costco, because it's budget friendly. And then when I actually used it for baking, it tasted just as good as the ones like matcha cookies or brownies I've had from cafes and stuff that say they only use like ceremonial, food grade, like high quality matcha. Honestly, I have no way of proving if they're actually using high quality, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're lying either. But I feel like using this budget-friendly one is actually still really good for baking with, especially when I'm making cookies. And I also, this is my theory, I think because it's not a super smooth, high-quality matcha that's meant for like just drinking, the astringency of this matcha, I think, plays into it being better for baking. Does that make sense? Like, it's not a bad matcha. Like, I feel like a lot of people are getting a little out of hand with the matcha trend where they get really like matcha snobby. And, you know, if you want to, I guess it's fine. I just don't think you should be mean about it, and I think people should be more open-minded to trying different brands. I specifically got this one just because for recipe testing, I don't want to use super expensive, high-quality matcha if I don't even have a solid recipe yet. It's mostly for, you know, my recipe testing stages and to make sure the recipe works first before I move on to different quality ones. I have like ones from Japan too. Those I use for drinking actually. And I actually reserve those specifically for drinking because it's not so, it's like smoother and it's not so bitter. Do I have one I specifically like will just only buy and I'm only dedicated to that? Not necessarily for the drinking ones. To be honest, I'm not like a really big matcha snob. Like I will take ones that, like for drinking, I will just drink whatever isn't, it doesn't have that weird fishy taste and it's not super bitter, because I feel like some are just meant for drinks and then some are good for baking and drinks, or some are just meant for baking. The one from Costco, don't quote me, I don't remember fully, I'm pretty sure it's from Sencha Naturals, like the brand, is budget friendly and it works really well for recipe testing and baking. To be honest, I don't even feel like I need to use the small pouches I have from Japan for baking. I think I'm going to reserve those for drinking because I feel like they, in terms of drink wise, because I'm a little bit pickier, is that more of a snobby thing to say? Maybe I am a bit of a matcha snob. To be honest, it's also because I didn't like matcha before. And drink wise, some of them just tasted like fish to me. So the ones that are good as drinks that don't have that weird fishy, super grassy taste, I reserve for making lattes or like matcha Americanos for myself. And this one I use for baking. And I don't remember if I ever made a drink out of this before, but I feel like it wouldn't be bad as a drink. I just prefer the other Japanese ones, which I actually don't remember the name of. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure Sencha Naturals, the one that they have in Costco, also sources their green tea from Japan. So I don't want to make it sound like they don't have, like they're not sourced from Japan, but at the same time, I don't know if it's like single origin, like from Japan type of thing yet. Like that, I'm not really sure. So you have to look into it. But yeah, if you're experimenting with like a matcha recipe, or you're using one that's new to you for the first time, I don't recommend using your expensive matcha to do like bake with. Like use a cheaper one to start, to make sure like the cookie itself, or like whatever you're baking, works. And then if you feel like the matcha isn't good enough, you can just replace it with like your better matcha. Does that make sense? So that way you don't end up like, you know, wasting it if it ends up being like the recipe wasn't good, or if it wasn't what you were looking for. Because sometimes it's not like the recipe isn't good, but it's more of a preference thing, because everyone likes food a little bit differently. So I hope that helps. I kind of rambled there, and maybe I over-explained. I personally feel like if you use the same amount of matcha, I feel like the quality shouldn't affect the texture of the bake. Like it would just be mostly a taste thing. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't tested that, but just from my experience, I feel like if you start with a cheaper matcha bake, and the baked good that you're making works out, you can move on to a higher quality one, and it shouldn't really affect texture. It's just the taste might be better instead. Because look, this like budget friendly one has such a beautiful green color. Alright, I think in the video it might be a little bit more neon, but it's not. Actually, it's like, it looks like more of a better matcha color. I think because I have a light in front of me, so you can see me, it's giving off a more neon color, but it's not neon green. It's actually a really beautiful shade of like a foresty green color. Okay, let me just make sure there's no dry spots. Scrape at the bottom of my bowl. Scrape the sides of my bowl. Okay, and it looks, my matcha cookie dough, it looks good. And this is the texture I feel like cookie doughs should be when it's ready to scoop, so that way it's easier to portion out. Like it should be like, you know, thick. Cookie tray. Okay, and here is sugar cookie, brown butter sugar cookie, and then next to it I'm going to put the matcha sugar cookies. Where's my cookie? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna scoop and scrape. Alright, this one's green, so it's pretty obvious like what flavor this is, so I'm gonna put it a little bit closer to my other cookie dough as well. I do feel like my brown butter one was a little bit dry, because this recipe, like I've tried this before, and I feel like this texture was really good, and it came out a really nice circle, so I have a feeling I might have put a little bit too much flour on the other one, but I'll bake it off later, and I'll see if I need to make any adjustments before I publish it on my blog. I'm gonna scoop and scrape my matcha sugar cookie dough against my bowl to get even cookie dough balls. And then I think after this I will make the Earl Grey sugar cookies. And if you're interested in making that, the Earl Grey sugar cookie recipe I actually have published on my blog. And if you click the link in the comments, I don't know where the comment box is, you'll see that I have a link to my blog pinned. How many do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to scrape my bowl to get as much of a cookie dough. Love your vlog. Thank you. Welcome. I'm restocking my cookie dough freezer stash today. Right now I am finishing up scooping out my matcha sugar cookie. Okay, and then what do next I'm gonna make the Earl Grey sugar cookie. And then I think that's at 1, 2, 3. Earl Grey, this one. No, I have chocolate chip, Earl Grey, and pistachio left. Sorry, I have 3 left. Right now I have regular sugar cookie dough, brown butter sugar cookie, and matcha sugar cookies right now. Okay, now I'm gonna make sure I scrape all that yummy cookie dough to get as much of it out of my bowl. To be honest, I should have started with the Earl Grey one first because I feel like there's still a little bit green in this and I might get into the Earl Grey dough, but it's okay, I'll wipe it. Next time if I know I'm making matcha or like anything that's colored, I'll make like the colored doughs first. I started off smart with the other like regular sugar cookies and then I forgot, I don't know why I forgot that matcha is green. But that's okay. Live and learn, c'est la vie. Okay, and that should be as much as I can get out of that. This one I'm gonna roll, and I'm gonna eat that one. Yummy, I think pistachio is so underrated. I know. Actually, you think is it underrated? I feel like pistachio is having its moment with the Dubai chocolate trend. But I've never had a pistachio cookie other than that one time my sister-in-law showed me and I was like, oh, that cookie is pretty, ow. Just pinched myself on this. And I was thinking, oh, that cookie is pretty good. So I'm trying to like recreate my own version of it because I wanted to taste, I feel like the only thing it was really lacking was more of a pistachio flavor, but I was wondering maybe it's just difficult to have it in a cookie. So that's why I wanted to try it myself today, recipe testing for my blog. I'm gonna roll this one and this one will be for me. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is about 8 matcha cookies for that. Let me just write that down so I don't forget later. Have you ever done any recipes with black sesame flavor? Okay, you might be reading my mind there because that is actually on my list to make. So it's like a little bit of a mind melt there. I was actually debating about making that today on the live, but then I was like, I have to stop. I always try to like do too much at once. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do what I plan to do. And to be honest, if the sugar cookie recipe works out and I like it, all I have to do is just add some black sesame powder to it, and then boom, black sesame sugar cookies. And I feel like that would be so tasty. Also, yeah, everything is pistachio flavored right now because of that one chocolate. It's everywhere. Yeah, the Dubai chocolate, right? I love pistachios. It's one of my favorite nuts, and I don't hate that trend. I usually am not too crazy about food trends, but the Dubai chocolate one, I'm gonna be honest, that's one of my favorite food trends because I love pistachios. I love like crispy textures, and I don't love super crunchy things because I feel like it'll hurt my teeth and my mouth. But I do love the crispy pistachio nutty flavor with like a dark chocolate. I actually don't even like add the dark chocolate sometimes when I just make like the pistachio crispy part. Let me put this in the fridge first. And I also do like a hack method where they usually use the kataifi, right? Like with the phyllo dough, the shredded phyllo dough. So I can't be bothered to buy like another ingredient that I don't think I'll finish. And to use it only for like that one thing, I just didn't want to add another thing, right? And I had cornflakes. So I tried it with cornflakes and it's so good. Like instead of using the shredded phyllo dough and like toasting that up, if you toast up cornflakes and mix it with pistachio butter, so good. I have a recipe for that, like a Dubai chocolate chip cookie, like inspired by the Dubai chocolate, up on my friend's blog on modernasianbaking.com. If you want to try it out, it's so good. I want to make that. I think I also have just that pistachio like cornflake filling on my blog as well. I don't remember what category I put it as. I might have put it as like a filling. But if you go to my blog and go under like newest recipes, I'm pretty sure I published it. So you should be able to find it there as well. Literally all you have to do is replace the phyllo dough, the kataifi, with cornflakes instead. Toast that. I'm so happy you're live today. It's my birthday, so this may. Oh, happy birthday, P Lake. What does the P stand for? Is that your first name, or is it better to call you by Lake? Which one do you prefer? I'm trying to get a bit of the matcha dough off so it doesn't make my Earl Grey sugar cookie dough like green. Would you try using Nutella in a cookie or a cupcake recipe? I did, I think, for my husband Eddie. Wait, did I use Nutella last time? I don't remember, but I used it as a cupcake filling because it's so easy. You just core the cupcake, and then you put the Nutella inside the cupcake, and it's so good. I love Nutella. Is it because you see the jar behind me? It's a big jar. I forgot. I don't even know where that came from. I didn't even buy that. I think someone gave it to me. Where's my Earl Grey? Oh my god, it's right in front of me. Wait, that's a good hack. Love your rice. Yes, the cornflake for the Dubai chocolate is my favorite hack. I saw someone use the toasted shredded dough as a topping for ice cream. I feel like that would be so good. Honestly, on a lot of things. I ate it with strawberries, like fresh cut strawberries. So good. It's like basically strawberries, pistachio, and like cornflakes, like toasted cornflakes. My first name is Penelope, so that's what the P means. Okay, happy birthday, Penelope. I just wanted to make sure I say that, like, because I didn't know if you want to be like called Pele, because that's what I see on like my chat screen. Happy birthday, Penelope. Thank you for coming in on your birthday. Oh my god, I feel so special. The only time I've ever used Nutella was putting it in whipped cream frosting, which worked surprisingly well. You know what? I don't even feel like that should be surprising. That sounds amazing. It's like you just made chocolate hazelnut whipped cream. I feel like that's such a good way to flavor whipped cream with something like you already have. Okay, so this is my Earl Grey dry mix now. And then I have 2 more cookie doughs after this, the chocolate chip and pistachio. Mix the dry ingredients. Put in my butter. Put in my egg. And then after I do these last 3 cookie doughs, I am gonna eat. And then I'm gonna put in my softened butter. Boop. Take my rubber spatula. Give it a little mix. And, oopsies. Okay, it was just a little bit of flour got out of the bowl. Okay. I think today will probably be... Actually, no, I don't think it's my longest live I've done. Because I think I'm at... What am I at now? 71... Oh my god, why did they put it like this? 72 minutes? What is that in... It's an hour and 12 minutes? Yeah, it's not there yet, but I actually, after this ends, it'll probably be my longest live that I've done. Yay! Although, to be honest, I wasn't aiming for really long lives anyway. I was just doing lives to practice teaching people how to bake, or like speaking, teaching, and like going live. I feel like I've gotten better, a little bit better every week. Sometimes there will probably be mistakes, but that's fine because the whole point of it is just to be comfortable going live for me, because if I ever have like a baking studio in the future, I'm gonna have to teach people how to bake like live in person anyway, and I just want to make sure that I am mentally prepped for that and I've had like practice. So I thought, oh, if I go live, it'll be a really good way of practicing that. So that's why I'm doing this, and that's why I'm here. And also, just because I bake so regularly, I feel like it just only made sense for me to practice like online. Okay. Almost done mixing this one. This is the Earl Grey sugar cookie. I have, this recipe is actually published on my blog, in case you missed what I said earlier. It should be, the link should be in a pinned comment that I have in the comment section, and it should lead you directly to my blog in the cookies tab, cookie recipe tab. I'm gonna do mixy mix around, make sure there's no butter streaks, no flour streaks, no egg streaks. And then I forgot the vanilla in this one. Oh, that's okay, because I remembered while it's still soft. And you know what? I feel like it's also good to do this live, because to be honest, my goal is, like, I want to be a pastry artist teacher, and blogging is like one of the forms that I want to teach people baking in, and I'm trying to teach people that baking is fun and approachable, and that, you know, if you make a mistake and it's not too late, it's easy fix. Like me forgetting the vanilla extract, it's fine. I'll just mix it in right now, because I'm not fully done mixing anyway. Bye, Penelope. No problem. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you have a happy birthday. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you get to eat lots of cake. Lots of goodies, lots of good food in general, good vibes. Lots of laughs. Okay. Okay, and I feel like that should be thoroughly mixed. I don't want to over mix my cookie dough. And then I'm going to get my cookie tray to scoop out these cookie dough balls. And if you're coming in late, here is what I have so far. Sugar cookies, regular vanilla sugar cookies, brown butter vanilla sugar cookies. I feel like it sounds better if I add the vanilla. And I have matcha sugar cookies here. And now I'm gonna scoop out to portion out the Earl Grey sugar cookies next to the matcha. And let me write the scoop first because I still have matcha cookie dough on this. I think today for lunch I'm gonna have you ever had shin ramen? Like the Korean instant noodles? Because that's what I'm feeling today. Maybe because the weather is rainy. I feel like whenever it rains and it's not too hot, I'm always in the mood for like soupy noodles. Or did you already eat lunch? Or is it nighttime? Or is it breakfast time for you now? I don't even know where you're like watching from. I'm filming live from New York City, so for me it's like 3 o'clock, 3:30 p.m. and I skipped lunch because I wanted to finish this first to restock my sugar cookie dough freezer stash. Okay, I'm gonna scoop, and scrape alongside the bowl so I get even cookie dough balls. You like the bulldog one? Oh my god, I can't. Okay, so I said I like shin ramen, but I don't actually use the whole sauce packet because I can't really eat that spicy food. So I can't really eat bulldog. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's too spicy for me. I really love the carbonara one though, and I really want to like bulldog because it looks so good, and I feel like I like a kick of spicy, and I like it when it has flavor. Like it's not just spicy and it has like no flavor type of thing. So I want to like bulldog, but I can't because it's just so spicy. I like their carbonara one though because I think that's like their only one that isn't really spicy. Takes a while to make, to be honest. Okay, I add like stuff to it too, so it's not. Yeah, it's not just like a 3-minute noodle. I also add things like I like to add scallions to it. I love to add cheese to the shin ramen. And sometimes I add like a little bit of veggies to give it like, you know, a little balance, like a protein. I don't know what protein. Oh, egg. I just like crack an egg on it so it's like soft boiled. Sometimes I add like another protein. Like if I have Spam, I'll add that. I don't remember what else I add. It just depends on my mood again. I feel like what I want to eat is just based on my vibes, my mood, what I'm craving for. It's because I saw a video. Someone was eating these like noodles things. It looks so good, and now I want to eat it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That doesn't seem right. Hold on, I think I measured this last one wrong. If you ever do that, you're scooping it and it doesn't look right, like it's obviously smaller, that probably means that there might have had like an air pocket here, so no biggie, put it back into your bowl and just measure it again, because I have a little bit of cookie dough left still. I feel like I didn't measure that one right. That's why it's so important to scoop and then scrape a few times along the side of the bowl to make sure it's as even as possible for even baking. I add extra to mine. Extra what? Spicy packet? Like the original black bag plus 2 of the spicy sauce they sell in a bottle. I'm like, I immediately started salivating, like just thinking about like how spicy that is. Like your noodles are probably red, like so red. I can't. I wouldn't be able to do that. Nope. I would probably just, yeah, not cease to exist if I ate your noodles. What else do you put in, like besides all those spicy packets? Or like other people, like if you also eat like those instant noodle stuff, like Shin Ramen, Bulldog, like what do you add in your noodles? Because I'm always looking for ideas. I usually add the same like general stuff. Scallions, egg, sometimes cheese, like a melty type of cheese. I want to try to add sweet potato noodles because I saw someone doing that and it just looks so good. Oh, I'll add rice cakes too sometimes. Give it extra chew. Alright, Earl Grey cookies is my last scoop. And this one's a smaller one, so I'm going to roll it up and put it on the side because this one's also going to be for me to bake off to try later. Actually, I don't need to try the Earl Grey ones because I know those work because it's already on my blog. I wash my hands. I always wash my hands in between. I'm like right next to the sink because I don't like when all the butter and stuff is like just hanging on my hands and I touch my other tools. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 makes sense. So here's what I have. I don't know if you can see it. It's so satisfying when I have them like all lined up. I'm almost done. So I have sugar cookie. Yeah, vanilla sugar cookie, brown butter vanilla sugar cookie, matcha sugar cookie, and Earl Grey sugar cookies here. It looks so good so far. And then I have 2 more, which is chocolate chip and pistachio butter. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge to chill first, and then I will continue to do, I'll do the chocolate chip next because I wanna do the pistachio butter last because it's a nut. And I actually think I'm gonna put that on a separate tray so that way it doesn't touch the rest of the cookie dough because I don't think any of my friends have nut allergies, but in case they want to share with their other friends and they have nut allergies, I don't want it to cross-contaminate. So, hello. There's so many and you're still doing more. I could never, you know what? You know, you could, if you prep your dry ingredients and like wet ingredients beforehand. I did this like, no, if I wasn't doing this live, I actually could finish this in like 30-ish minutes. Probably an hour including the time I had to measure the ingredients. Right now I'm about like 84 minutes in. What is that? Like an hour and a half in, only because I'm doing this live, so it's taking me a little bit longer because I'm like yapping at the same time. And to be honest, this will save you time in the long run because I'll just have this in the freezer and it's like ready because I'm doing it like all at once and I'm using like the same bowl. I did use a pot because I was making the brown butter, but I used the same bowl and I just did it in a specific order so that way it's less like dishwashing. Granted, I did have to measure the ingredients in the, like measure out my dry ingredients in separate bowls to like make sure I had them separate. So like I'll have to clean those, but it's not like a bunch of buttery, oily bowls, if that makes sense. And like it's just dry ingredients, so it'll be a lot easier to wash. It's really just like this main bowl that I have to wash. So technically, since I'm making 6 different cookie doughs, I only have to wash the bowl once, versus if you had to do this 6 different times, you would have had to wash your bowl 6-ish times. I don't know if that was convincing enough for you to try to do this. I also personally just like doing like a baking marathon type thing, because I don't do running marathons like other people do. Like, this is my marathon, baking marathons. There's just something about it. Maybe because I used to work in bakeries and stuff, and we always had like, you know, rushes on the weekend. And when I was in pastry school, like we would have to make a big batch, and like I wouldn't want to do it all the time anymore because I prefer teaching people. But sometimes I miss the feeling of like baking like a big tray of stuff and like seeing it lined up, because it's so satisfying, and like just baking a bunch of stuff for people. It's just an itch I have to scratch. So it's just a me thing, but that was my way. That was me trying to convince you that maybe you could try this too. And it's not like that bad if you like break down the steps. Okay, that's chilling. I need a water break. So make sure you hydrate yourself as well. I feel like talking dries out my mouth because I'm also not used to talking like straight for like an hour and a half. Because I usually will type things out, like, you know, online and stuff. And I'm not used to teaching people, so this is why I'm like practicing these lives, so I get better at it. Hydrate yourself. Okay, fix my boo. Next I'm doing chocolate chip. So I have the brown butter chocolate chip on my blog already, but I'm trying to see if I can make it like a non-brown butter version for people that, I don't know, they just don't have time and they don't want to brown the butter. So this is that version. Here's my ingredients. I'm gonna sift my ingredients with my whisk because I'm making a small batch. If you're ever making like a bigger batch of cookies using my recipes, you can sift your dry ingredients in your mixer, like your stand mixer, so that way you don't have to do it by hand. And then just add in your wet ingredients like your egg and butter or whatever later on. It also depends. If you're using one of my recipes that has brown sugar, I usually will ask you to mix the brown sugar, egg, and butter separately, because brown sugar is hygroscopic. So if you mix this with your dry ingredients, because I tried to do that last time, it just becomes like, it becomes really hard to mix into your everything evenly. Like you'll start having clumps. So if it has brown sugar, I will ask you to mix this separately. So in that case, like for example, if you were making a bigger batch of chocolate chip cookies in a mixer, you would take, like pretend this is a stand mixing bowl. And you take your sugars, specifically this one's brown sugar. Take your egg. I'll wipe my hands. Take your softened butter. To be honest, the order that I did this in doesn't really matter. You could have just started with the butter, the sugar, then the egg, or vice versa. And then mix it together. Oh, almost forgot the vanilla extract again. But Satan is not getting me today. And then you mix it together. And then, like I said, we're pretending this is the stand mixer and we're just gonna like mix it up. So then that would be the main difference if you're using a stand mixer. You would just put this into the stand mixing bowl first. Since I'm making a smaller batch, I can just do this by hand. Since it's just a one-time batch. Should give me about 8 to 9 cookies, I think. I'll let you know at the end. Do a little mixy mix. Let's see. I love making chocolate chip cookie dough, but adding different mix-ins to part of the dough is so fun. Ooh, what do you like to mix inside? I haven't tried that yet because I'm usually recipe testing. But with the brown butter one, I also just kind of like it as is, if that makes sense. Like, so I haven't tried mixing other things in yet, but I can imagine nuts would be really good. Or what else would I add in it? I feel like walnuts would be really good, like toasted walnuts. And maybe dried fruits? But is that like grandma core vibes, dried fruits? I mean, there are oatmeal raisins and oatmeal raisin chocolate chip cookies. So I feel like in a regular chocolate chip cookie, like putting like a, I don't know what dried fruit I would put in it though. Mangoes? Dried mangoes? Dried blueberries? I don't know what else I would put in chocolate chip cookie dough actually. M&Ms? Oreos? Oh my god, suddenly my brain juices are flowing. Like crushed Oreos, crushed M&Ms. My favorite so far has to be cranberry and white chocolate chips. Oh, okay, so yeah, I was on the right track, like dried fruit cranberry. I don't know why I didn't think of cranberries, actually. Because I love dried cranberries, more than raisins, actually. So if someone were to ever make me, like, oatmeal cookies, I usually will request, like, dried raisins, because I prefer that. Sorry, not dried raisins. It usually comes with dried raisins. I prefer dried cranberries. Although I don't really have a problem with raisins either. I just prefer cranberries. Dark chocolate and pecans. Pecans or pecans? I usually say pecans. That sounds amazing too. I actually really love toasted pecans. And I feel like if I toast it and I put that into this cookie dough, it would be so good as well. Okay, I'm gonna mix it a little bit more. See a little weird brown sugar spots. So let me just mix that in. Okay. And then make sure I'm scraping at the sides and the bottom of my bowl to get any dry spots. And then before it's fully incorporated, so you see how there's still some flour streaks? I'll stop mixing around there to mix in my chocolate chips, so that way I don't overmix my dough. Alright, next time I'm gonna add in toasted pecans. And I think I'm also gonna try, I really like the dried cranberry and white chocolate chip one, so that would probably be like a separate one I'll try next time. Thank you for the idea. Sounds so yummy. Hey, semi-sweet chocolate chips. Usually I like to use like more of a darker chocolate chip so the overall cookie isn't too sweet, but that's all I have right now because that's what was on sale, so that's what we're using. I usually like to have wafers or like the bar so I could chop it up because I love the look of like chopped chocolates in chocolate chip cookie dough, but like I said, this is just what I got so far, so that's what I got for today and that's what I'm using. Okay, mix, mix, mix. Okay, let me double check, what did I write for this? Okay, yeah, mix it in. Make sure everything is evenly distributed. Make sure you scrape at the bottom of your bowl if you're making cookies. Get all dry spots, wet spots. Okay, so let me think. I feel like this could use a little bit more flour because originally this recipe was for brown butter, and when you brown butter, some of the liquid evaporates, so that cookie dough is like a little bit thicker. So I'm testing it with this recipe I'm testing with a little bit with non-brown butter, and I think I added a little bit more flour, but I feel like I could use a little bit more for people who are baking it like fresh cookie dough. I usually like to leave my cookie dough overnight to chill first, so that way it hydrates the flour and it just gives the flavors to kind of develop more. But I can also understand people who just prefer to bake it right away. Like, I'm trying to make it that my recipe like works for both. But I don't know about this. I might need to add a little bit more flour. Let me think. Another trick is that maybe it doesn't need more flour and it just, my butter was a little bit warm, but it should have been around the same temperature. So I think it's a matter of, it just needs a tiny bit more flour. Let me see what I wrote on my notes to try today. Actually, let me also check my original recipe to see what I wrote there. Yeah, I think we're gonna... add a little bit more flour. Sorry, I say we, but I meant me. I'm gonna add a little bit more flour just because I feel like texture-wise, it's not really what I'm looking for. Like, if you could see it, it just... I don't know if you can see it. It just feels a little bit not where I want it to be. Let's get a little bit more. Because I did notice that when other people tried my chocolate chip cookie recipe, when they send me pictures, it looks like it spreads a little bit more than when I made it. And sometimes I'm wondering if it's like they're not making the brown butter version and they're making like just regular. So I want to try to see if I can troubleshoot it a little bit. So let's get my flour. Oh, where's my spoon? Here's my spoon. Alright, let's start with just a little bit for now. Let me write that down so I don't forget. Move this off my scale. Okay, and now I'm going to mix in this flour. It already feels a lot better, so I do feel like this is gonna help by adding a bit more butter for the recipe if someone chooses, like if a reader chooses not to brown their butter. Because I want them to also be successful when they try it, because I don't want them to be like, oh my god, why doesn't it look like this? A little bit loose still, but I don't want to mess with it too much like the original recipe. I'm just doing a few tweaks at a time. So let me stop here. Okay, I'm gonna get my cookie tray now. Wow. It's getting kind of heavy. I can't even use it with one hand. And again, this is what it looks like. Vanilla sugar cookie, brown butter sugar cookie, matcha sugar cookie, Earl Grey sugar cookie. Now I'm putting on the chocolate chip. I'm like thinking, should I was hoping I could fit everything here. Oh, actually no. This works out because I'll fit the chocolate chip on the last row. And I was gonna put the pistachio butter separately because it's a nut. So I think everything should fit here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think maybe not everything, but most of it should fit on this side. Just wipe off the other cookie dough. And scooping time. So I'm gonna scoop and scrape. You know the drill by now, hopefully. Put it onto the tray. Ah. Scoop and scrape even cookie doughs. I feel like the amount of flour should be fine. This would definitely be one of those cookie doughs I think I would ask people to chill a little bit beforehand. I don't know yet though. I might try to edit again. Alright, I think I've officially run out of space on this tray. But that's okay. Actually, no, I'm gonna move over the other little ones that I have. I'm gonna move that to a separate tray that's for me. Actually, I'm gonna just use a lid for now. Because these are mine anyway. I'm gonna move some of them over a little bit. So that way I have a little bit more space for like one more chocolate chip cookie dough. And then I also love to add a few more chocolate chips on top for chocolate chip cookie dough. So that way when it bakes, it looks like, it looks like a chocolate chip cookie dough, if that makes sense. Because sometimes I feel like if you just bake chocolate chip cookies that you scoop out without adding a few more on top, the chocolates like melt into like the dough, not melt, but like it gets stuck into the dough that you don't really see it. So for aesthetically, and just because there's nothing wrong with a few more chocolate chips, I like to just put it right on top before freezing. And you can also do this like when they're freshly baked, just poke a few on top and then it'll look like, oh, the chocolate chips like baked like that. I like to do it before, like in the raw cookie dough form, because it's just easier because they're all like here and I don't have to bother about it when it's like hot out of the oven. So this is what I like to do. After you make them, how do you go about freezing them? So what I do when I do like a lot of cookie dough like this, I will let them, I'll cover this and let it fully chill in my fridge first. So it's easier to like handle because it won't be gooey and sticky. And then I'll either move them into little baggies and label them, or I'll move them into boxes like that, kind of stack on top of each other, and that's airtight. And that just makes it easier, and I'll label it too with a name and date, so that way I remember what they are. And then usually I'll just bake them straight from the freezer. So I'm gonna let these chill, and I'm gonna grab another tray for the pistachio butter and the last bit of cookie dough I have left over in this bowl. And I'm doing the pistachio one separately because it's a nut and I don't want to cross-contaminate, but also because like I need a little bit more space on this, so it's fine. And the last bit of cookie dough on that one is also fun because those I'll just remember because like I'm the one packing them. I'll remember those have been near the cookie dough that is pistachio butter. So these will go in the freezer. I mean fridge. Okay. Let me see. I forgot to prep my second tray. Let me move this. Why am I missing an egg? Did I not count correctly? I guess I only have 5 eggs. Hold on. I'm gonna get an egg. And I'm gonna get another tray. You know what? I'll just use this tray that was holding my butter. So I'm gonna put something, I'm gonna put plastic on this. You can use parchment paper so the cookie dough doesn't stick to your tray. And I'm also gonna get another egg because clearly I miscounted. I did not have enough eggs. I'm gonna line my tray and have my egg. I'm getting hungry. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna put the rest of my chocolate chip cookie dough on that side. I'm gonna just scrape it a bit to get as much of it to one side as possible, the cookie dough. I do feel like this is still a little bit loose now, but you know what? I'll see after I chill and bake it. Then I'll edit it from there. Scrape all the cookie dough as I can. Try to get as much off of this. I'm going to put some chocolate chips on top of this cookie dough. And then I'm going to move on to my last one, which is the pistachio butter. So I'm making a total of 6 cookie doughs today to restock my cookie dough freezer stash. I put like 4 or 5 chocolate chips on top usually. Don't need to go crazy, but if you want to, you totally can. Okay, and this is what it looks like. I have my other cookie doughs in the fridge for now to chill. And now, let's make my last one, which is the pistachio butter. Let me see. Okay, let's grab. So this one I'm recipe testing. It's not on my blog yet. Fingers crossed it works out. So I have, this is my unsweetened pistachio butters in here, and the brown sugar. Put it right inside my mixing bowl. I'm gonna try to get as much of the pistachio butter out because that's expensive. I feel like this would be, you know how like someone asked me if like they're scared of using expensive matcha to do recipe testing or bake with a recipe they don't trust yet? Like, this is how I feel about my pistachio butter now, because I don't think I can get like a budget-friendly pistachio butter because pistachios are expensive. So I'm kind of just like hoping this works out on the first try. And then I'm gonna crack. I'm gonna do my butter first because this egg is cold because I had to take it out of the fridge because I couldn't count and I took out the wrong amount of eggs, but it's okay. I'm gonna use my other spatula because I prefer this one when I'm making cookie dough. Not this one. This was just to get the butter out, so ignore that. I'm gonna mix it up. I might edit this recipe to add more pistachio butter next time, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of figuring that out, so I'll see how I feel about this after I bake it. Okay, mix it up. Do I want to add vanilla to this? I kind of don't because I want it to be primarily a pistachio butter cookie, so I'm gonna skip the vanilla in this one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip it. Or should I add it? I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Like, do you prefer recipes that always just keep on adding vanilla extract into it? I feel like sometimes people just do that just for the, I don't know, for funsies, but I just feel like sometimes it doesn't make sense. Like for this one, I don't really want to add vanilla, but I feel like it also wouldn't hurt if I add it. Like when I made the matcha sugar cookies, to me it didn't really make sense to add it, but it wouldn't, also again, it wouldn't hurt. I just feel like I would prefer it to be like matcha, specifically matcha. This one I feel like it would be fine if I added the vanilla extract. Get it off the side. Okay, I'm gonna do a little taste test on this. This one's fine because I don't have the flour or the egg in this yet. It's just a sugar, pistachio butter, and butter. Okay. Like, this tastes like the pistachio. I'm hoping that when I add everything else, the cookie itself still tastes like pistachio. Added my egg. I always think vanilla isn't that strong of flavor until I add it where it shouldn't be, and I realize how strong. Yeah, like that's how I feel sometimes. I love vanilla actually, so I have no issues with it. I just feel like it doesn't belong in some recipes, if that makes sense, or like it's not necessary to add it to like every single thing, just to save ingredient costs and just to let vanilla shine where it should be, or let the other main ingredients shine where they should be. So I have no issue if people add it to like everything because I love vanilla, but I just don't want like my matcha cookies tasting like a vanilla sugar cookie instead of matcha, you know? Like there's a time and place for vanilla extracts, or vanilla bean paste or whatever. This smells really good. I can like smell the pistachio nut butter. I'm hoping that I can still taste it in the cookie when I add everything else and I bake it. Just make sure everything is incorporated, but it's okay if it's not because I'm going to mix up the dry ingredients, which is, where did I put it? Oh, here. Pistachio butter cookie dry ingredients. And let me just sift it a little. Dump it right in. And then here we go again, a little mixy mix, but this will be my last mix for today. And wow, I made 6 cookie dough flavors. I did that last time too, but I think I like doing this in bursts, like baking marathons. I definitely would be very tired if I had to do this like every single day, like 24/7 type of thing. So yeah, let me see. Is this my last one? Yes, definitely my last one. Because I'm getting hungry and I could go for some ramen right now. Or specifically Shin ramen. It smells good. It smells good. I did not try it because I put the egg, the raw egg, and the raw flour in already. But it smells good. I really like how the texture of this is feeling. Of the cookie dough, I mean. So I feel like this is, I have high hopes for this recipe. So if it bakes really well, I'll be able to also publish it this month on my blog. Okay, I want to make sure I scrape the bottom and the sides of my bowl to make sure I get any dry spots, flour spots, and streaks. Because I don't want that. And I'm also going to scrape my spatula to get everything off of it as well, because sometimes I will have butter streaks on it, or who knows, maybe you have butter streaks, or like if you have flour streaks on your spatula, you just want to make sure you just scrape it on the sides of your bowl as well, like this. Okay, almost done, looking pretty good. Okay. Alright, time to scoop them out. I'm gonna put it on the other side of my tray. I feel like this would taste really good if I had white chocolate chips too, but I'm gonna test it with just as a cookie with no like mix-ins first. Okay, so I'm gonna scoop and then scrape, scoop and scrape. Scoop, scrape, scoop, scrape. Alternate between that to make sure that your ice cream scoop has an even amount of cookie dough. And I think I mentioned it earlier, this is about 3 tablespoons worth of cookie dough in this ice cream scoop. I feel like, to me, that's like the perfect size for a cookie, but obviously it's up to you. It's not as green as I thought it would be, but that's okay. I don't really want to add food coloring into it either, but I feel like if it was a little bit greener, it'd feel more on point with it being like a pistachio cookie. Where did you get that spatula, if you don't mind me asking? Bye, girl! Or, sorry, I don't want to, like, assume genders. It is not a problem if you ask me, like, where my tools are from. If I remember, I will tell you, because I don't know. I don't think that would be like a problem for asking. Maybe that's just a me thing. But this is from, it actually came in a set, if this is the spatula that you're talking about. It came from Costco, and it came in like a set of kitchen tools, and I got it because it was an assortment of blue kitchen tools. So I have a matching spatula. Well, I guess they're both rubber spatulas, but this is like, you know, the one you cook with and grill with, and this is more of like a mixing bowl spatula. They came in like different shades of blue, and I love it because it's so cute. I love this icy blue color. I think it also came with these tongs. This is a darker blue, which I don't mind. But the icy blue one's my favorite. That's why I got the set. It was from Costco. I don't remember the brand though, sorry. Okay, last bit of cookie dough. I'm gonna scrape it to one side so I can scoop it in. Scoop it with my ice cream scoop. Last bit of my pistachio butter cookie dough. And that will conclude my restock of my cookie dough freezer stash. So I just have a little bit of dough left, so let me just try to get it all. I mean, this one will just be part of my little cookie dough that I have on the side for me to bake later. For me to eat. I'm gonna get all this off the spatula. Yeah, I feel like it might be a little bit loose though. But then maybe this is also another recipe I would recommend someone to chill first. I don't know. I have to kind of experiment and see. But yeah, okay, so these are my cookie dough. Actually, look at this little one I have right now for myself. The Earl Grey, the matcha, the brown butter sugar cookie dough, the vanilla one, and then I have the pistachio butter. And these are the end pieces, bits and pieces I'm gonna bake off for myself. But anyway, this is my pistachio one, the extra chocolate chip. And let me show you my tray of cookie dough before I go. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is all the other cookie doughs I have, plus the pistachio butter. Like, look at it, I have so many cookies now. So pistachio butter, chocolate chip. Going once again, chocolate chip, Earl Grey, matcha, brown butter vanilla, and this is just a vanilla sugar cookie dough. So I have 6 cookie doughs, 6 different cookie doughs here. And this is all to restock my freezer cookie dough stash. And then I think I'm gonna definitely wait for these to fully chill first before I put them into airtight containers to freeze. And then I think I'm actually gonna bake some of them off tonight because I'm gonna see my friend tomorrow and it was her birthday the other day, so I'm gonna bake some for her to gift. And then I have another friend's birthday coming up middle of next week, so to be honest, I think I'm gonna like I think there's like 36-ish cookies here, a little over 36, but there's 6 flavors, each one made about 8. So what is that, like 48-ish cookies, give or take a few? Did I do the math right? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's assume it's at least 36 to 40 cookies, possibly 48 if I do the math right. And I have 3 people I want to give it to, and I'll give at least 1. Probably 2, because I feel like giving him 1 cookie feels like it's not enough. So I feel like I'm gonna at least lose half of these cookies anyway by the end of next week. So that's also why I wanted to like prep a bunch of cookie dough now, because I think half of these, if not all of them, are gonna be gone by the end of next week. And I think I still have to make more anyway for Father's Day. So yeah, like it looks like a lot now, but I think I need another tray of these. There's so many. Oh my god, looking at what does that say? Looking at both trays together is crazy. Yeah, it does look a little crazy, right? When you see like how many cookies I have. Can you see it like this? And this tray's not even full. I feel like I kind of want to fill it, so it looks like, oh my god, like look at all these cookie doughs, you know? Is my arm long enough to hold it? Oh, kind of. I feel like I'm gonna drop this one though, so I'm gonna stop, because I'm a little clumsy. Alright, so yeah. Thank you for coming to my freezer dough cookie stash restock. These are all the cookies doughs that I made. And I hope you had fun watching. I know it's a little bit longer than what I usually do for people that have been to my baking labs before. But since I had to restock it, I thought, you know what? Why not? I might as well just do it live and like chit chat yap with you guys and let you know what I'm doing behind the scenes for my blog. So this month I'm gonna be uploading these recipes, but had to recipe test them. The Earl Grey and the chocolate chip are already on my blog, so you can find those there. And the matcha one is basically the Earl Grey as the base, but you just replace the Earl Grey tea leaves with matcha powder instead. So again, this is the vanilla sugar cookie, brown butter vanilla sugar cookie, matcha, Earl Grey, chocolate chip, and pistachio butter on this side. I am hungry, so I'm gonna make some food. Thank you for the stream. This was the first stream of yours I was able to catch, so it was real. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry, like I feel like I don't have a set schedule yet, so I'm kind of just doing it whenever it's like convenient for me. I usually try to do it like Sundays, but then my June Sundays are kind of weird because summer is coming, so like weekends are busy. So I feel like I just end up doing it whenever I have time, which just works for me for now. Hopefully in the future I can figure out like a more consistent schedule that works, so it's like more predictable. But for now I'll need a little bit of patience while I figure that out, because I'm still practicing and like juggling other things. I'm trying not to like do too much at once. So thank you for coming though, and thank you for other people that are here. This was my freezer dough cookie restock, and I am going to chill these, and I'm gonna make lunch to eat now. So thank you for coming. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend, or good night if you're watching from somewhere that's nighttime, or good morning. Bye.